Welcome to the Sim Sessions. I'm Taylor with Gray Street Media.
And I'm Mike Alexander with Shift Support.
We're going to talk about all things IT and marketing today.
Fun, exciting. This should be a great time. I know there's a lot of crossover between everything we do. So
Yep. Sometimes I'm the IT guy. Sometimes Mike is the marketing gal.
it's interesting. It's a fun time. We have a good time with it. And then I get to come and bug Taylor and say, "Have you done this before? Can you please do it for me? I don't want to do this."
I think there's a lot of times where, being a part of the group, we're a collaborative team of, ideally, it's really nice to have Mike and his team on board because IT is not our strong suit as much as our clients sometimes like to think so.
And marketing isn't our jam. Please, email signatures. I will not design them. Please don't. Please no.
I'd like to know, what are some marketing things that you get asked to do that people might think are IT?
Yeah, email signatures. Sometimes even like website design. It's not my jam.
What do you mean? You're an IT guy? You don't design websites?
I try my best not to. This isn't like high school anymore. I know how to do Notepad. I know some basic stuff, but the flow is not my jam. So.
New challenge. I'd like to see what Mike's website build would look like.
Really?
Yeah.
We can do this. Like it's gonna be a little sketch.
Cut to clip.
Yeah.
of Mike's website. Websites are. It's kind of funny that you say websites because website design, totally marketing.
Yes.
Right? But there's so much more that goes into it, right? Like let's say you're starting a new business and you need a website. There's so many things attached to that. Like your domain name.
A couple things ahead of that.
Yeah.
You got to get the domain name. You got to make sure you have hosting, and then you can start the design from there.
Yep.
But generally, you'd engage your IT or someone along those lines,
Yep.
GoDaddy or cut to GoDaddy referral clip here. Not sponsored by GoDaddy.
Use Shift 10.
Yeah.
Referral
for
code.
10% off. Yeah. Having those ahead of time before the design happens is super important.
Yeah. Also, like your domain name, for example, also is your emails. Something I get asked all the time which is like, it's kind of those like gray areas, right? Where it's like, could I do this? For sure. Like, absolutely. Do I talk to Shift and make sure it all works properly? Yeah, absolutely. Like, if you need payables at graystreetmedia.ca, can definitely set that up for you, but it has nothing to do with your website design. But I think that it's nice to know that there's like that kind of safety net of knowing that if things, for example, when our web team, does maybe, hey, we're going to do this. We're going to let's say transfer the site or do this. Can I press go? Can I get a second opinion really quick?
Yep.
And, Mike or his team will be like, you can press that. Would I probably do this first? Yes, just FYI.
Just a little heads up on that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
So how should that flow work? Let's say someone's starting up a company. Should they talk with you first for help choosing a domain name, for optimizing, for brand recognition, and then come to us for domains?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think that there's been a lot of times where there's a lot of things when it comes to a domain name that maybe isn't exactly tied to search engine optimization either, right?
Yep.
So for example, if you're starting a Medi-Spa, there are a lot of different ways to indicate what you do. Are you aesthetics? Are you a Medi-Spa? Are you a dermatology clinic? Are you... you also don't want your domain name to be 4,700 characters long, unfortunately. So it's definitely a brand move to consult about domain names first, but then it's kind of like, okay, let's get this plan in place. Let's say you're starting a new business. Here's what we'd recommend for domain names, because you know what? Your domain name also might transition to your social media handles as well.
Yep.
Something back to the 4,700 characters. It doesn't, you want to make things as easy for the user as possible. You want people to be able to tag you and to be able to find you really easy. So once we make that plan, then I'd say throw it over to
your IT team.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Because then once we have all those pieces in place, when it comes to, back to websites, when it comes to your website, we're connecting all those things. All those, your domain name and your host, they all have to talk to each other, right? That's another thing, hosting. Hosting websites.
the joys of
Yeah.
hosting, all the different options and things you can do with it. So on the social media side, like that's another thing. Like, I'm not on a great Instagrammer or Facebook. Please engage with your branding team, your marketing team on that one, because I setting up those accounts is definitely not.
Do people ask you to set those up?
Yeah, I've been asked to.
Do you do it?
I have gone as far as to do the Google My Business, because like there's some things that cross over there, like some of the like Google Analytics and stuff like that. It gets a little techy, but
Yeah.
I generally say, hey, chat with your marketing team on
Yeah.
that one. That's
Yeah, it does. But like, think about it. If you're from the perspective of an entrepreneur that's starting a new website, like, we're by no means saying that everyone knows all these. So like, this is from an internal point of view,
Yeah.
right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, if you're like, oh man, I'm so dumb, I asked Mike to set up my Facebook, you know, like
Yeah.
this, no one, there are very many blurred lines, which I think why Mike and I are sitting at this table talking to each other right now, because there's so many blurred lines between what those tech items are. For example, when it comes, going back to Google My Business, when it comes to your search engine optimization, you're setting up, a Google My Business, but you're also setting up a Google Search Console. You're setting up Google Analytics and Google My Business, and all those. You're setting up tags on your website to make sure everything talks to each other again. And sometimes, you know, does your web team have the ability to do that? Yeah, like they should, or we do. But sometimes is it 10 times faster to get, you know, maybe the IT people that know what they're doing to set those very specific things up?
or do it collaboratively.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of the let's all jump on a call and actually work through it together, because
Yep.
I'm not going to know everything. I had one customer who said, hey, I need 4 different Google My Business locations set up, and I'm like, that's a little bit out of my my comfort zone. I don't know.
Did they actually though?
Yeah, they did.
Oh, they did. Okay.
They actually set up 4 different ones, and because they were wanting to make sure they had distinct locations and
Right.
distinct review opportunities.
And you know what though? That's not your lane.
Yeah.
Like, that's, you know what I mean? It could be, but that's where collaboration does come in.
Yep.
Like, does it make so much more sense? Like, even like, you know, when we're working with the shift team, if we're all on a call and going like, the client is going to tell us all the things that they need, and then that's kind of up for us to go, okay, we got this, you know, like,
Let's own it from here.
yeah,
Yep.
Mike, you got this. We'll check this off the list. Once you're done with that, give us the code or throw it over our way, or the API key or whatever you guys do over there. What do you think are like, what's like really trendy in IT right now? Like, what's something that, you know, either you get like asked like frequently asked questions, or like something you're seeing happening a lot in your space right now?
Well, it's going to come down to security, I guess, is generally cybersecurity is the one that probably should be talked about a lot more, that I wish people would ask me more questions of just, am I secure checkbox? Kind of like search engine optimization or website design. Do I have a website? Yes. Is it doing what I need to form my business? Maybe not. The same thing applies from a cybersecurity perspective. Making sure, you have some things, but are you doing all you can do to be secure, or managing that risk between insurance and cybersecurity? It's
Do you mean like website security, or like there's also like email security?
email security,
Yeah.
website security, computer security. Like a lot of times, even just when we work together, it's about making sure people's domains are set up properly,
Yes.
so that other people can impersonate them. And that's another one, and generally why we're a little bit more like to be involved on the domain setup side of things. It's just to make sure those settings are there. Because sometimes companies start up and they don't realize that they need these settings in place, so that no one can say, hey, I'm also Joe at medispa.ca.
Yeah.
And sorry, Joe, if that's an actual, I didn't actually check
Trademark
that one.
Joe
Trademark
at
Joe.
Medispa.
Yeah, not affiliated. Promo code, it's still shift 10. Yeah, just making sure those settings are set up properly. Cybersecurity should be something hopefully you're chatting with your team about at least quarterly. Hopefully you're doing quarterly meetings with your technology partner. I know I come and hang out probably a couple times a week in the Gray Street office, and we chat about these things.
Are you noticing like an uptick in, like, I want to say like fraud? Like, because the reason why I ask is from a social media perspective. Like, I've seen such a rapid increase in, like, the newest one that I'm seeing is that people will get a message to their Facebook page from someone who made a personal account that has the Facebook logo or like the Meta logo, and they'll say that their page is in violation of an XYZ and is going to get removed. And as a client, if you're a client that has access to your pages, you panic because they don't know. It's like when you get a call from CRA, right?
Or
like
Microsoft.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And so I'm seeing, but like in the last 3 months, like since January, like it's been crazy. Like, I don't know if you're seeing. I mean, you probably see increases in all things all the time.
It's pretty perpetual. There's like cybercrime it's actually a business. I'm pretty sure the stat was, again, don't quote me, was that it's larger than most Fortune 500 companies. Cybercrimes. Like there's 3 or 4 major cartels that large organizations that drive the majority of this activity, and the amount of money that they do. I don't know if did you see the movie? I'm a movie guy. Did you see Beekeeper recently with Jason?
No, but I am a movie person, so I will watch it after this.
Please watch it. Again, it's a guy. He's I'll ruin it a bit. A friend of his gets taken for some money online, and he goes and does what Jason Statham does and kicks some butt. But it's interesting. It actually got into some of the business aspects of cybercrime.
Okay, cool.
Decently realistic of entire rooms of people oriented around stealing your money.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to watch it after this because I'm a movie person.
Yeah, we'll do like a...
I'm more of a movie quote and like office quotes person, but like I like slapstick comedies, but I also like informative documentaries.
Next time we'll do like a movie quote section.
Okay, next time we'll do a movie review. And we can like we'll put the movie poster right here in between us. Yeah. Beekeeper. Yeah.
Click here for our affiliate link.
Click here for like really not so rotten tomatoes.com.
Mike and Taylor's review of The Beekeeper coming up next.
Stay tuned. Coming April 17th.
Yeah. I think we can make this happen.
This is it's only a few days away, but I think I don't know when we're going to release this podcast, but we'll see.
Yeah. It might end up, we could look right up here and there could be a card saying, here's the next link for the next podcast session.
Yeah, we're really putting this on the team to really amp this up. Like, come on, guys.
This is a good time. We can make this happen.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I keep coming back to is I think clients panic, right? Yeah. Well, they should. Yeah. And I think, and from what I see hopping on calls with clients, I'm sure you see the same, is like relief. Like when you have someone in your corner that can either go, ooh, whoa, we gotta, like, let's say, there's someone trying to, attack the website like that one day. And honestly, we see this from a hosting perspective too, because we host websites. And we see, like there's someone that's trying to put in multiple credit card numbers and we got to amp up security here. I think from a client perspective, it helps to be on those calls and just to have that like level of trust with that advisor, whether it's in your IT team or the marketing team or both, ideally, where they can go, hey, I've gotten a lot of things on my Facebook page lately, and we can go, don't click on it. We can go, please don't click that. Yeah. Or, hey, it's all good. We've blocked this. We've also put XYZ measures into place to prevent it from happening again. So I think there's something to be said for like just having someone to be able to call.
Yeah, someone on your side of the table, someone in your court to be there when you need help. I'd say it's almost, it's also the ability for that person to be a decently fast response, whether that's text or email or picking up the phone. I know before this we're chatting about the joys of texting with customers.
Yeah.
Even today I got a text from a customer saying, hey, the CEO of this company got a little pop-up on the screen saying, you've been infected, call Microsoft right now. So I think it's just about taking a breath or just having someone you can pick up the phone and saying, what's going on with this?
Yeah.
Is this legitimate? And what can we do to make this go away?
And if that happened to you tomorrow, like this is kind of going back to like when clients have pain points that make them go, oh man, I need to figure out my IT. Like, oh my God, I need to, redo my website or whatever it is. But if that sort of thing happens to you, you have to think like, do I have a trusted team that I'm going to be able to call? Because it's so like, I think we're in the same realm of like, we're very, we like to be very responsive and let our clients know that like, whoa, okay, I've got like, here, oh, this is nothing, blah, blah, blah. Or like, please don't click that. And there's been times where a client will text me and be like, our Facebook page has been hacked. So-and-so from Facebook Meta organization is like, and I'm like, no, it's fine. Like, don't worry about it. And there's something to be said for like that fast.
Yeah, and that's what being a partner probably is about. Like someone in your court. There's a lot of vendors out there. There's a lot of people who are just there to get that reoccurring revenue, and everyone's striving for it. But it's someone to be on your side and say, this is not. You don't have to worry about this, or hey, we don't worry about this, but here's what we can do going forward to make sure you don't get these. And I think that really helps what that differentiates a vendor from a partner.
And when clients are looking for either, I'd say like I see this in marketing all the time, when they're looking for a marketing partner, they don't always like, they go, yeah, okay, I need some social media posts, and we'll be like, great. But what maybe they don't think about is, oh, like I need a website manager that when I need a new service uploaded to my website, I can just email you and you'll do it today. Like it's the partnership. It goes back to the partnership again.
Is that like a scorecard you guys have on your website that's like how to grade your current marketing and website partner?
How to
and
like,
are they doing everything they should be for you?
Hey, this is a great new
link is here, by the way, for the checklist.
Visit greystreetmedia.ca/scorecard. Man, I'm really giving the team a lot of work to do after this. Like, can't wait. This is gonna really spiral off into many different things. But it, honestly, like, not every IT or marketing partner is made equal. Like, I think how you feel, like, and I use the word relief all the time. Like, if you feel, like I always say, you're usually not gonna hop off a call with your marketing team or us and feel shitty. You're gonna feel like, oh wow, either you're gonna feel excited or you're gonna feel relieved. That's like one we get a lot.
Someone's owning it.
Yeah. Like, okay, someone's got this. Like, we just had this event pop up and we're doing XYZ. There's definitely like, if you don't feel that, that's like put X on the scorecard. Like, like that's a bad grade.
Yeah. So. That relationship, does it exist? And is Taylor in your Rolodex or your contact card? Or I'm even dating myself with the Rolodex.
Yeah,
thing,
really.
Yeah, sorry.
People are using that word a lot lately.
Is it?
Rolodex.
Okay.
You remember like when you used to click the button, it goes
yeah,
all the way, like if you were on A and then you click like Z.
It was that tactile
I
feeling.
Personally never had one of those. Yeah. I went in my grandpa's office and played with his. So I don't know personally what that is like.
But you should have someone like a Taylor in your contact list, and someone you can shoot them a text and say, hey, I need help with this. The same thing. I hope the same thing for my customers. They can feel like they can just shoot me a text and say, hey, Mike, I need help, or give me a call.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think. I'm seeing a lot of my clients want to put chatbots on their website, and I'd love, like, I think this crosses over. Like, I think so. I'd love to know your thoughts on
technology and marketing,
even AI.
Yeah. I can't recommend this in good conscience. I don't know if you've seen it in the news recently. There's been a couple cases of chatbots being put on websites, and they're based by ChatGPT or something similar again, and they get convinced to sell products at ridiculous prices. And I think the one that immediately comes to mind, there was a car dealership where someone had a chatbot on their website. It was powered by ChatGPT, and someone convinced it to sell them a car for $1, and there's no takesy backsies.
I love this person's tenacity, though. Like, I love their commitment to the bit. Like,
well, that's like, I wonder how many different how many websites they went around to and were like, hey, I wonder if I can do this. I wonder if I can convince these chatbots to do this. And it went to court. I don't know the status of that. Like, we'll add it into the description down here. Try and link the article, but
link below.
Yeah.
But like, man, there's a lot of links in
this
podcast.
There's a lot of linking going on here. No, it's I love the idea of it. Like, the idea is great. The philosophy is great. I just don't know if ChatGPT is the right tool for that.
And that's the difference between like what I'm referring to, and in this conversation is like a chat bot, right?
Yeah.
That's like an AI. And I think from what I'm seeing from my clients is the problem they're trying to solve for is that immediate contact, right? But like and I think like even just before we started filming, you were telling me about like there's different ways to do that.
Handle it differently. Like, if you're looking for, like, what's the goal you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
Is it immediate response? Are you trying to keep that lead warm or hot? And if someone's if that's what you're trying to do, outsource that. Outsource that to an organization that's all they do. They do phone calls and they do chatbots. They're the ones they're not a chatbot. They're just sitting there waiting to answer random people who need help.
Yeah, they're not
services.
AI that's going to kind of make up answers based on what the entire like body of the internet is telling them.
They're going to get
right?
a whole bunch of information from your
Yeah.
prospective lead or whatever you need to qualify them, and then say, hey, like I'm gonna call Mike, and Mike's gonna pick up the phone. And he knows that if this service ever calls, they got a warm lead for me.
Yeah.
and all of that.
Or if you want that immediate contact and you're trying to like Mike was saying, like keep that lead really, really hot. There's also, like Mike was telling me, there you can hook up if you don't want an email to your inbox from a contact form, right? You can have that go to a different form of communication. Like, if you're on Teams, like if you can have it go to a Teams chat. Like I think a knee-jerk like response to like, oh my God, well, someone told me I need a chat on my website.
Yep.
And you know what? We can totally do that. Are you going to respond to the chat? Are you going to be there? Because honestly, it's the execution. If you're not, if
It's
it's
your customer's first experience with you.
Yeah.
If it takes you 2 days to respond to a contact form or a chatbot or even a text message, that lead's gone. Someone's already responded. I had someone who they were going down a list of IT companies, and they'd been calling. They were literally just had searched Edmonton IT companies. They were calling top to bottom. And I managed to call back within, I think it was 7 minutes. He's like, Mike, you're the fastest to call back and the only to call back so far. And he had been calling for about an hour and a half. And I was actually pretty surprised. Like, that is the world we're in right now.
I think you got to keep it simple. Like this comes back to like reviewing what your strategies are, like looking at your entire communication or your organization and going, what if you're trying to increase leads, like what way are they contacting you? And it doesn't have to be through your website. Like I was having a conversation with a sales guy the other day. You don't have to, like, just because everyone's saying this is the method of communication, like what works best for you? Like, you're responsive in 7 minutes because that's how you operate. If you're not responsive in 7 minutes, maybe someone in your organization could take on that role or field those communications or something for you. Or you could, like I say, communicate in a different way. Don't have a website form that goes to info@ an inbox you never check. Something I hear all the time.
Yeah, it's just technology solves a lot of problems. And I'm sure marketing does as well. But I think it's just using the right tool for the right problem that you're trying to work through. And AI chatbots are not the way right now, in my
Hot
opinion.
take.
Yeah.
Hot take.
That's in Mike's opinion. Yeah. What really grinds my gears. Yeah.
What really grinds my gears? That's a new segment coming soon.
Yeah.
Obviously, we talked a lot about collaboration today. So if you'd like to chat about either your IT, your marketing, or any of those things that fall in the soup of what that might be, we're always here to chat.
Hit us up. We'll go from there.
Like, follow, subscribe. Smash that like button. Cheers.
And